Now, he had a chronic condition. He knew he was going to die. We knew he was going to die. We could have called 911. We probably could have resuscitated him. And we probably could have put him in the ICU for another few days, maybe a week. And maybe he would have died a week later. But, exactly. It was my family's choice. But listen, when I sat down with the hospital administrators here in town, they talked about the fact that 70% of the healthcare dollar is spent at the end of life. Now, 70%. I want you to help. Try to get your head around it. 70% of the healthcare dollar is spent at the end of life. Now, we're not talking about cutting people off of life support systems. We're not talking about denying people needed coverage. But I think it's okay to have an adult conversation about whether or not we should reimburse physicians and nurses and caregivers for working with a family and working with a patient. Because right now, they're not reimbursed for that. What they are reimbursed for is that service. So if they say, okay, I'm going to admit you to ICU, yeah, we get reimbursed for that. The hospital gets reimbursed for that. We don't get reimbursed for that hour or 2 hours of counseling that the physicians and the nurses do with the family around how difficult it is. Now, let me help you, sir, with all due respect. Because of the fee-for-service structure, they're not being paid for it. Unlike the Cleveland Clinic, unlike the Mayo Clinic, where physicians are paid on salary, when they're paid fee-for-service, unless that particular service is reimbursable, they're not paid for it. And that's part of the problem. We need to get to a system where we have compassionate care. We have compassionate care for individuals. We make sure that if it is the choice of the family, that those choices are respected and guarded. And we make sure that we do everything possible to keep people alive and in quality of life. But we have to accept the fact that we spend 70% of our health care dollars at the end of life.